Good morning, I'm Adam Davis.
And I'm Tanaka.
And we're making millions over morning coffee. Well, I hope everybody's having a fine Monday morning. Beautiful spring weather here in southeast Michigan, and as always, the deals could not be any better. But something jumped in my mind on my way into the office this morning that I wanted to share with you before you start the week looking for deals and making things happen in your real estate investing. See, a lot of first-time investors and even homeowners that are looking at picking up a second property to make up for lost equity in their first home are pretty shocked when they start looking at some of these foreclosed homes or some of these bank-owned homes. You see, we try to help a lot of investors out, people getting started, go out, look at some houses with your agent, with other investors, make some offers. Well, we get a lot of feedback, and people are literally shocked at the condition of some of these homes. They just can't believe that there would be, broken things everywhere, mold, busted ceilings. I mean, you name it. These houses are not in good condition. So we don't want to make light of the fact that you are going to have to do major renovations to these houses, typically, if you're going to turn them around for the huge kind of profits that can be made in foreclosure real estate. So start honing your expectations accordingly. You see, a couple of years ago in the real estate market, when there weren't as many foreclosures, and you could do real estate investment transactions with homeowners that were motivated to sell because of work situations or job loss situations, more of a pre-foreclosure versus a foreclosure investment strategy, there are two very stark contrasts in the type of houses you're going to get. But the thing that you have to keep in mind is that your equity spread and your cash flow position are going to be very much more in the foreclosed home instead of the pre-foreclosed home. So just hone your expectations accordingly when you're going out and you're looking at these houses. Pictures don't do justice. You have to actually walk through the houses and see what you're going to be investing in and renovating. But trust me, if you can keep a big picture perspective about what it's going to look like, what your vision for the home is going to be, what that end homeowner is going to like or that renter is going to like when you put them in the house, it's going to make it all worthwhile at the end of the day when that project is done.
I'd like to contradict what Adam says a little bit, because in the last 3 months or so we have purchased a couple houses that need less than $2,000 worth of work. But it isn't the norm. That's probably about 20 to 25% of the foreclosed homes that are out there today. Maybe they need less than $5,000 worth of work, but typically you're looking at $10,000, sometimes $20,000 even when you're in the $100,000 range. But that's how you get the great profits, because you're willing to do it, other people won't. When they turn their nose up or when they get that kind of pungent odor, which we call the smell of money when we walk into a foreclosure, because the worse it smells, a lot of times the more money we're going to make. So you're the ones that are willing to go out there, make things happen, and buy the properties that others aren't. So this actually brings me to something that I can't believe. How low can you go? That's what the Detroit News had in today's paper. Now, you know that we're not advocates of newspapers or TV news because it's usually very negative, but in today's article, they are talking about how lowball offers are turning deals in the housing market. And that's something that we've been talking about for the last few weeks, is that these banks are finally smartening up. I don't know how else to say it, but they're starting to list these homes $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 less than they were a couple months ago even. So that's bringing out a lot more new investors, or it's kind of re-sparking the fire in some older investors.
That's right. How low can you go? That's the cliche term when it comes to real estate in this market nationwide. We're not just talking about here in Metro Detroit, but in places in Florida, prices are dropping even further and faster than they are here in Michigan. Now, they started from a point that was much higher than right here and a much more frenzied market than we had here in southeast Michigan. But no matter where you are in the United States, you can see that there is a softening in the real estate market and that adjustment mechanisms from an economic standpoint have to take place. But you know where that adjustment mechanism has to take place first? It has to take place first up here for you. You have to adjust the way you think if you're going to continue to adapt and evolve and take advantage of this market. If you continue to think that you can just buy your house and you can ride out through the ups and the downs and you can keep socking your money in the stock market and that's going to do it for you, then that's great. Maybe making millions over morning coffee is probably not for you then, because we're trying to motivate you. We're trying to give you the information and the tools you need to go out there and make serious money investing in real estate. Real estate investing is not for the faint of heart. it's not for many people. Now there are some passive investment strategies you could use, but you still have to know more than the average person that just blindly gives their money over to a stock or portfolio manager to manage for the next 20, 30, 40 years. You can't just blindly give your money over in real estate investing, no matter what type of investing you're in. You have to start changing the way you think upstairs, changing your outlook in your mind if you want to start making serious money and stop really rolling the dice at the craps table of the stock market or your company pension and really start paying attention to what's going on. This headline 30 or 40 years from now is going to be in the history books because prices are going to be 100, 200, 300% higher than they are now. And this headline that you see right here is going to be in the history books. When you look at the history of real estate investing, this headline, which is airing in newspapers probably across the country because we're not the only market here, it's going to be a historical, significant turning point, and a lot of wealth is going to be created. The only question is, what side of the fence are you going to be on?
I was just on a conference call with a member of Wealth and REI, which is our mastermind teaching and consulting group. And the person I was talking to isn't a newbie. They've done about 5 deals. So he said something very poignant to me that I always forget to point out to others. We were talking about what's going on in Michigan real estate. How long are we going to have to be able to buy these properties at such a discount, mark them up, and sell them and make such great profits? I said, I don't know. I said, maybe 12 months, maybe 18, maybe 6. We can't tell the future. And I said to him that, a lot of people think that this market is risky and they shouldn't get in. And he said to me, they're crazy if they're not in. So I just want to put that out there to everybody, that someone who's newer in the business is kind of teaching us lessons and smacking us in the back of the head saying, you guys, are you nuts? You should be buying more houses too. Don't just tell people to buy them. You need to be buying them also, because if you can see the opportunity in today's market, it's not that hard, because finally the Detroit News is even telling you, go out and make offers. Don't be lazy. Don't be afraid. If you have decent credit, you can buy a house. Even if you don't have good credit, find someone that you can borrow $20,000 or $30,000 from to buy a house that was selling for $120,000 or $130,000 2 years ago. You have no excuse to go out there, buy some houses, and make it happen.
Right. And that's exactly why you need to be checking back with us every weekday morning, because we're coming at you with this kind of information. You're going to get raw, no holds barred, real, factual-based information here, and you're going to get some opinions and insight from us. But for the most part, you're going to get information that you can take out and move on right away in your investing life. Whatever investing life you choose for yourself, whether you're a full-time investor, whether you want to continue, you like your job, you want to continue working there, but you want to sock a few $100,000 away for retirement, maybe you want to pay for your kids' college fund. Whatever your financial goals might be, Making Millions Over Morning Coffee with Dylan and myself, I'm Adam Davis. We're going to help you achieve that each and every day. If you want to learn more about me, you can go to my blog. That's www.adamjdavis.com.
And of course, check out www.dylantanaka.com to read more about myself.
And be here tomorrow as we help you make millions over morning coffee.